Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatpujayam Mudirayet. Before reciting Srimad Bhagvatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, Arjuna Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagvatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati-uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagvatam, and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaurachandraye Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Grantaraj Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 7, Chapter 7, What Prahlad Learned in the Womb. So we read till text number 52. Thank you so much, Nikshori Mataji and Srilas Prabhu, for helping and coordinating the call yesterday. So Prahlad Maharaj again is emphasizing on the importance of bhakti, that bhakti is the only qualification and no other qualification can help awaken that love for Krishna, only by unalloyed devotion. So let's continue reading the next verse, text number 53. Tato harau bhagavati bhaktim kuruta danavaha atmaupamyena sarvatra sarvabhutatmani shvare. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. My dear friends, O sons of the demons, in the same favorable way that one sees himself and takes care of himself, take to devotional service to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present everywhere as the super soul of all living entities. Purport: the word atmaupamyena refers to thinking others to be like oneself. One can very intelligently conclude that without devotional service, without becoming Krishna conscious, one cannot be happy. Therefore, the duty of all devotees is to preach Krishna consciousness everywhere, all over the world, because all living entities without Krishna consciousness are suffering the pangs of material existence. To preach Krishna consciousness is the best welfare activity. Indeed, it is described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as para upakara, work for the true benefit of others. The activities of para upakara have been especially entrusted to those who have taken birth in India as human beings. Bharata bhumi te hoila manushya janmajar. Sorry, I got to sneeze. Bharata bhumita hoila manushya janmajar janma sartha kari kara para upkar. The entire world is suffering for want of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised all human beings born in India to make their lives perfect by Krishna consciousness, and then preach the gospel of Krishna consciousness all over the world, so that others may become happy by executing the principles of Krishna consciousness. So, Prahlad Maharaj is again and again sharing this, repeating these teachings of preaching. Earlier also he has said the same thing, that one must preach or share this message, because everyone wants to be happy in this world, at least for one's own self. Okay, someone may be envious and may not think like that for others, but for oneself, one is not envious. No one wants his or her own bad. No one willingly, does kind of bad to oneself. Everyone wants to be happy. So, Prahlad Maharaj is saying that in that same favorable way, as one is seeing oneself, that means the desire to be happy, one takes care of others. Atmaupamyena, as it is said in the in the modern day, treat others the way you want to be treated. Very simple. And Prabhupada is connecting it to sharing Krishna consciousness, because that is the real formula for happiness. One will get happy, and by sharing Krishna consciousness, which is the best welfare activity, the best philanthropic activity is to share Krishna consciousness, one will be happy. And especially for people born in Bharatvarsha. Now we know that it has two understandings. One Bharatvarsha is the current India, but the other Bharatvarsha is the whole world actually. So in short, irrespective of where we are born, the people born in India certainly have some advantage because of the past Sukruti, so one should take the best advantage of it by perfecting one's life, by becoming Krishna conscious, and also help others by being by sharing Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is saying, duty of all devotees is to preach Krishna consciousness everywhere around the world. Very, very clear. This is direct from the purport. So, and one more aspect which I like about this verse: take to devotional service to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So as one is caring for oneself, one should care for the Lord. So when we got deities, and yesterday we were doing the deity installation, deity welcoming ceremonies, I was thinking of that. So when His Grace Shyamanand Prabhu told us, take care of them, they'll take care of you. Very simple. As we take care of our children, our wife, husband, family, etc., the same way we should favorably take care of the deities. If we are getting hungry, the deities are hungry. If we are, if we want to go out, then deities also go out to Sankirtan. If we want to, we are thirsty, deities are thirsty. So it's not just some wood or metal. Deities are a person. So in that favorable way, one should satisfy through the process of devotional service, like reading, hearing, offering different paraphernalia to the Lord, to the deity, and also preach, because preaching is the real way, so that everyone can become happy all over the world. That's what Prahlad Maharaj actually said in Canto 5, Chapter 18. May everyone be favorably engaged in practicing Krishna consciousness. That was the prayers of the residents of Harivarsha headed by Prahlad Maharaj. We read that in Canto 5, Chapter 18. So, any other comments or questions anyone has? Okay. Let's read the next verse, text 54. Someone who hasn't got chance in last 1 or 2 days would like to read, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. I would like to read text 54. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Daitya yaksha rakshamsi Priyaha sutra vrajaukashaha Khaga mragaha papa jivaha Shantihi achyutatam gataha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. Oh my friend, Hare. Can you hear me? Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji, we can hear you.
Okay. Oh my friend, oh sons of demons, everyone, including you, the Yakshas and Rakshasas, the unintelligent women, Shudras and cowherd men, the birds, the lower animals, and the sinful living entities can revive his original eternal spiritual life and exist forever simply by accepting the principles of bakthi-yoga. Purport. The devotees are referred to as acyuta-gotra, or the dynasty of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is called Achyuta, as indicated in Bhagavad Gita, Senayor uvayor madhya ratham sthapaya me chuta. The Lord is infallible in the material world because He is the Supreme Spiritual Person. Similarly, the jivas, who are part and parcel of the Lord, can also become infallible. Although Prahlada's mother was in the conditional state and was the wife of a demon, even yakshas, rakshasas, women, shudras, and even birds and other lower living entities can be elevated to the acyuta-gotra, the family of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the highest perfection. As Krishna never falls, when we revive our spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness, we never fall again to material existence. One should understand the position of the Supreme Achyuta, Krishna, who says, the Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tatvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma neti mama iti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. O Arjuna, one should understand Achyuta, the Supreme Infallible, and how we are related with Him, and one should take to the service of the Lord. This is the perfection of life. Srila Madhavacharya says, Achyutatam Tutivrajanam. The word Achyutatam refers to one who never falls to this material world, but always remains in the Vaikuntha world, fully engaged in the service of the Lord. Such a nice verse. So here in this purport, Prabhupada is describing who is Achyuta. Achyuta is the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And as a human being, we are also fall in this category, but because we are in the conditional position, we are in the clutches of Maya. So that's why we are the jivas who are the part and parcel of the Lord. Can also, we are in the infallible state, but we cannot realize. And the person like Prahlad Maharaja Acharya, who also does the acharan, and so he is the person who, as an example, who can be eligible to go to the Vaikuntha Loka and who will never born again and can stay in the Vaikuntha Lok with the Supreme Lord. So that's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna is telling that he is the Achyuta. He will never fall down, and that's why he is the Supreme. Back to you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes,
yes, Prabhu.
Okay, because I had a comment about last verse, but I don't know somehow. Anyhow, go ahead. I will tell something when you're done.
Sorry about that, Prabhu.
Okay.
So in this verse, in this theme, that there is no external thing which can stop one from bhakti. In Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam, there are tens and tens of verses which tell that we just read yesterday, text number 52, 51, that, wealth, austerity, knowledge, vratas, cleanliness, daivas, daityas, there is no external qualification for bhakti. The only qualification is unalloyed devotion. Same verse pretty much here. When whether it's a male body, female body, Shudra, cowherd, all these are externals. The spirit soul is beyond all this, and so is the process of bhakti. And so the point is that anyone who renders sincere bhakti, whether one is learned or illiterate, male or female, young or old, wealthy or poor, healthy or diseased, all these are externals. One can elevate oneself to acyuta-gotra. That means become a sincere devotee of the Lord, and that is the real goal of life. So bhakti, the only qualification is sincere, unalloyed devotion. Otherwise, it's just a show. So very, very nice words Prahlad Maharaj is speaking, and then so many examples are also there. And as I said, this verse, or paraphrased, this concept that bhakti is beyond the externals has come in pretty much every canto. We just read, like how Ajamil degraded to, and then their famous verse came, Aho batashva pacho to gariyan yad jiva agre vartate namatubhyam. Even a chandala eating the flesh of a dog takes the chanting of holy name will be elevated. Even in the story of Jad Bharat, this conversation came, that bhakti is above all these. Even in Kim Purusha Varsha, Sugriva speaks this, how can we become friend of Lord Ram? We are Vanara. The word here is Vraja Aukasa. Over there the word comes as Vana Aukasa. We are the residents of Vana, or forest. We don't have any qualification. Shabri was a very low class woman externally. Prahlad was a child. Gajendra was an animal. Kubja had no beauty. So many examples are there in every aspect that bhakti is above all these things. Bhakti is not dependent on high birth or wealth or learning or austerity. So, any other? Yes, Bhadra Prabhu, you wanted to share something, please.
Thank you. In the text 152, we read yesterday that how many of these things, charity, austerity, sacrifice, cleanliness, vows, and all the etiquette and all that, we do it. If we do it for the satisfaction of the Lord and His devotees, then it is worth it. Otherwise, it's shrameva kevalam. So the text 53 is the continuation of that. And the Prahlad Maharaj is saying to his friend that now please, now hearing all this, what do? You engage in devotional service. This is all favorable. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport is extending more to that, and is saying that besides you follow yourself, but at the same time you preach this message to others. And that's why this Bhagavad Janma means he's telling that, yeah, you follow yourself, but at the same time, when you preach to others, we give, not preach, but share with others, then you go uplift. You uplift yourself up on the higher platform. That is the beauty about the sharing. When you share in the material world, people usually don't want to share, or if they want to share, then they want some money. It's reality. We know that. But here in the spiritual platform, as you share more and more to the people, you go more and more up higher. Now, in this sloka 54, he's talking about Gotra. Because when you go to Jagannath Puri temple, at the entrance, usually Panda asks, what Gotra you are from? So Srila Prabhupada told us that you say acyuta-gotra. Because it's important, they ask when you go to Jagannath Puri temple entrance. And they catch you, they ask, what Gotra you are from? Because there are, there's their understanding. And we understand that that's their thing. That's where they, that's where their, I guess, instruction or policy or whatever. But Srila Prabhupada has said to us that you tell we are acyuta-gotra. And it was funny that I was listening to Gauranga Prabhu's lecture on the Ramayana, and there was one thing about the impersonalist Darwin. Darwin says that we coming from the monkey, and our archaeologist, what's his name? I forgot the name. Any devotee, Srila Prabhupada disciple. So he said, yeah, when they go to if the persons who are follower of Darwin theory is we are coming from the monkeys, then when they go to the Jagannath Puri temple, they should say that we are coming from the Vanar Gotra. He was making fun, because Darwin followers, they think that we are coming from the monkey. Of course, monkey is the one of the species we are upgrading ourselves, but we are not coming from the monkey. So that's Darwin theory. So that was kind of joke. So that's what here Srila Prabhupada is kind of mentioning, because we were all the devotees coming from the from the different places, from the Lecha, Yavana, whatever, coming from all over the world from different places. Srila Prabhupada and devotees took up devotional service. So he said, you just tell we are acyuta-gotra. Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dandavad Pranam. Haribol. Please add something.
Yes, please.
So, and also there are a few examples of how we can even have nice animals engage in Krishna consciousness service. In Silicon Valley, the one devotee had a dog before they even came to Krishna consciousness. So, and the children did not want to give up the dog, so they put the books on both sides of the dog in a case, very beautiful case. And even the dog used to go for book distribution. In Mayapur, the elephants are employed in worship of the Lord. There used to be a cow or an elephant who used to come on every Ekadashi near the temple. The cats are many temples have cats so that they can they protect the kitchen from the mice. So even today this is possible, and everybody can live very peacefully together. Back to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I mean, if you want to hear this passion, I can tell you about the dog from Padayatra, and I will take 5 minutes. I'm sorry. It is important to hear. When we are doing Padayatra in 84-85, when we started from Dwarka, go to Mayapur, in reaching 1986 for the 500th anniversary of Lord Chaitanya. And during the Jhansi, where Srila Prabhupada had, probably you all have heard it, but it's important to repeat again. Srila Prabhupada, as you know, he started the League of Devotees in Jhansi. And Srila Prabhupada had done the Padayatra at that time, nearby villages, he did it. So the village where we came, Padiyatra reached there. After the 86, we reached in 86 in Mayapur, and then we continued Padiyatra because Padiyatra was so successful. So we came near Jhansi, that village, and I was personally there. I was managing. So we had the dog join there with us from that point, from that village where Srila Prabhupada had done Padiyatra. And the dog came to us with Jhansi. And I know when I was leading the kirtan, dog would roll around in the ground with us in the kirtan. And that dog continued with us. We gave him the name Bhaktadas. Dog continued with us. And at that time we had the elephant in the front, in the Padiyatra. We had elephant in the front. Then we have devotees chanting. Then we had a bullock cart. In bullock cart we had a Gaurnita and we had Srila Prabhupada. And then we had behind that we had a camel cart. And behind that we had the tractor with all the dioramas of all the Lord Chaitanya's pastime because that was the 500th anniversary. This dog would walk with us all the way every day. Devotees would sing prasad. This dog only ate prasadam, nothing else. And India, when you walk from one village to another village, the dogs from the all other outside of the village, they come and they start barking when they see other dog. So this dog would stay near the elephant. And we had a big elephant. He would stay near the elephant so that nobody can disturb. This dog would come to morning Mangalarti every day. I might be not there, but when they blow the console at 4:30, dog was right there. And this dog continued with us when we did the Brajmandal Parikrama, first Parikrama in 1957. Dog also did Parikrama with us. Then when the Parikrama went from there, he went to Padiyatra went to Delhi. Dog is in Delhi. And then when we went to Haridwar Rishikesh, this dog ultimately left the body, and they had to put the body in the Ganges. So there are so many. This is one of the pastimes, but there are many animals pastimes are there, which they were probably who knows where the dog was coming from previous lives, and he joins where Srila Prabhupada had done the walking Padiyatra. He joins from there and come all the way up to Haridwar, and then he leaves the body, and in a family, and then they have to put it in Ganges with Harinam Chadar and everything. So these are. I'm sorry taking so much time, but it's nice to share this because this is what is acyuta-gotra is here. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning. Doesn't matter. Yasya Rakshasa, women, Sudra, even birds, other lower living entities can be elevated to the acyuta-gotra. This is the mercy of the Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu, for such a nice, inspirational story. Thank you, Nandi Mataji. Okay, would someone like to read text 55? This is the last verse of this.
I want to read, Prabhuji.
Please. Yes, Mataji, please. Haribol, you can start, Mataji. Can you hear?
Yes, Prabhuji, sorry. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Text 55. Etan eva lokeshmin pumsha sarvata paraha smita ekanta bhakti govinde yata sarvatra tadikshanam. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Joy Srila Prabhupada. In this material world, no render service to the lotus feet of Govinda, the cause of all causes, and to see him everywhere is the only goal of life. This much alone is the ultimate goal of human life, as explained by all the revealed scriptures. Purport. In this verse, the words Sarvatra Tad Ikshanam describe the highest perfection of devotional service, in which one sees everything with reference to Govinda's activities. The highly elevated devotee never sees anything unrelated to Govinda. স্থাবর জঙ্গমে দেখে না দেখে তার মূর্তি, সর্বত্র হয় নিজে ইষ্ট দেবে স্ফূর্তি। The Mahabhagavata, the advanced devotee, certainly sees everything mobile and immobile, but he does not exactly see their forms. Rather, everywhere he immediately sees manifest the form of the Supreme Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam 8.2.74. Even in this material world, a devotee does not see materially manifested things. Instead, he sees Govinda in everything. When he sees a tree or a human being, a devotee sees them in relation to Govinda. Govindam Adi Purusham. Govinda is the original source of everything. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satit Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. Brahma Samhita 5.1. The test of perfect devotee is that he sees Govinda everywhere in this universe, even in every atomic particle. Anandra Stha Paramanu Karantastham. This is the perfect vision of a devotee. It is therefore said, Narayana Mayam Driha Pashanti Parama Arthinaha Jagadhana Mayam Lubdha Kamukha Kamini Mayam. A devotee sees everyone and everything in relationship with Narayana. Narayana Mayam. Everything is an expansion of Narayana's energy. Just as those who are greedy see everything as a source of money making, and those who are lusty see everything as being conducive to sex, the most perfect devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, saw Narayan even within a stone column. This does not mean, however, that we must accept the words Dharidra Narayana, which have been manufactured by some unscrupulous person. One who actually envisions Narayana everywhere makes no distinction between the poor and the rich. To single out of the Daridra Narayan or poor Narayan and reject the Dhoni Narayan or rich Narayan is not the vision of a devotee. Rather, that is the imperfect vision of materialistic persons. Thus, end of the Bhakti-Vedanta purpose of the 7th canto, 7th chapter of the Srimad Bhagvatam, entitled What Prahlad Maharaj Learned in the Womb. Hare Krishna Prabhu, back to you.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. This chapter is coming to a wonderful conclusion. And Prahlad Maharaj is concluding that the goal of ultimate goal, not a short-term goal, the real goal of human form of life, as explained in the scriptures, not just what I think. He has told that he has learned knowledge from bona fide sadhus, gurus like Narad Muni, and also the scriptures are telling the same thing, that the real goal of human form of life is to take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, Govinda. That is the source to ultimate happiness. That is the real thing. And a pure devotee sees everything in relation to Krishna. Because if, let's say, we put yellow glasses, or we have, blue glasses, then everything will appear blue, right? If we have red glasses, then everything will appear red. Similarly, if one has lusty glasses, then everything will appear lusty, or one will see everything in that spirit. A famous story, which we may have heard multiple times. A person was very, very attached to his business, and his age was also, coming. The old age was coming, but he was so attached to his business. He had a cloth shop, and he was very, very attached. So his children, tried to tell him something that, oh, Father, your time is coming. You're 70, 75 years old. Now you stop worrying about your business. Now you stop, working on your business. Just focus more on spiritual activities, at least now. They tried everything and every way, but nothing was, working out. because everything he was seeing how to expand my business. A businessman travels anywhere, they will just explore opportunities to grow their business, even in a short conversation, networking, this, that, everywhere trying to see where can I find opportunity to grow my business. That's what is mentioned here. Kaminimeyam. Because they have those in their eyes, how to grow my business, how to get more money, greed. So this person, finally a saint came and said, why don't you take him to Benares? A lot of dead bodies are burned there. At least then he will see that people are dying. A lot of people are dying every day. Hundreds of bodies are burned there. At least then he will become self-realized, probably, that my time will also come and I will die soon. And then over there he went and was in utter tears. And then the family thought, now finally he has realized that his death would come also, and better take to something higher and stop worrying about or stop growing business. And then the sadhu and the family asked him, dear sir, looks like you have understood the reality of life. What did you realize? Why are you crying? He said, I'm crying because I'm so depressed. I'm so depressed. I wasted my entire life. I should have done the business of wood. So many people are dying every day. If I have done the business of wood, this is like an essential business. Even COVID cannot stop it, because bodies are burnt. My cloth shop will be closed in COVID, because that's not an essential business. So, long story short, if one has premanja churita bhakti vilochanena, if someone's eyes anointed with the love for Krishna, then he's saying Krishna everywhere. Whether one sees a person or an object or a mountain or a stone or a pillar like Prahlad, and we will see that later, of course, and they will appear from this pillar. He's saying Krishna, Sthavara Janga, moving on, moving. I think Amsulas Prabhu asked us a few days back, and we discussed these 2 points, that he's present everywhere and a pure devotee because he has those eyes which are trained to see Krishna everywhere through Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So we have to train our eyes to see Krishna. It is not a easy thing. It is the level of pure devotees, but we should also aspire. If we see someone very intelligent, Krishna says, Buddhi, buddhimatam chaham. I am the intelligence of the intelligence. If someone is very, very beautiful, who gave that beauty to that person? If someone is very wealthy, who gave that wealth? If someone is very, very powerful, strong, who gave that strength? If someone has fame, who gave that fame? If we see something like a beautiful mountain or a beautiful flower or a beautiful ocean, who gave that? Who is the cause? So a devotee connects the dot and tries to see the hand of Krishna in every aspect, in every person, in every atom. And that's the process of training ourselves to see Krishna everywhere. So then we can be reminded of Krishna everywhere. And that's the goal of life. Smartavyam satatam Vishnu. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Whether it's happy times or sad times or wherever we are, this is the real goal. And Prahlad Maharaj was certainly at that level. Any other devotees would like to share any comments?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Dandava Pranam. So, Prabhupada is a very beautiful example of, thank you, Prabhu, is a very beautiful example of how he saw Krishna everywhere. Because when he was sick in New York, and there were just any ordinary doctor had come to him, and he said, Swamiji, your problem is that you are too much into piety and deity worship and this. You're too much into Krishna.
No, he said Doctor said, this was the Brahmanand Maharaj, Brahmanand Prabhu is explaining. Doctor said that this old man is just sitting around too much doing prayers. He needs to go to walk.
Yeah. And then thank you so much, Prabhu. And we got the most beautiful jewels. And Prabhupada saw him as Krishna speaking through his mouth. And then the most jewels of morning walk came into his place. Prabhupada would take on the walk and he said, do you see this tree? There was a bird dropping and everybody was like, what? They're just bird dropping. No, Prabhupada said, you see, every day we are coming, there's the same, the fresh bird dropping is there. Even trees are attached to their, even birds are attached to their trees. One gets attached to their household. It's so difficult to break this bondage of Maya. Another time he was in the park and he said, do you see this beautiful park? He said, all these city people take so much effort to put this park in the place, but we devotees are enjoying. So Krishna's devotees are always, Krishna gives them the best and Krishna gives them places so that they can remain happy, healthy, and he provides for everything, especially for devotees. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bhadra Prabhu.
Yeah, I wanted to add in here one point, because ultimately Prahlad Maharaj is saying Kaumaram Ashrit Pragyo, from the childhood. And this is the reality, because we have discussed so many times, Suvilas had said, quoting the Shankaracharya's verse, at the end of the life, the person usually think of, he is in worry for whole his life, what he has collected. That is the worry come. So Mahavishnu Maharaj gives one good example of this, that in the person who is engaged in this investing, the share market, and their mind is always in the money. If I'm gonna make this much investment in the share market, this much I'm gonna get it. So their mind is always thinking of the money, counting the money. So the one man, he was dying, but his mind was always absorbed in that thinking of the counting. So the doctor, his sons are around this man, and doctor comes and doctor is telling. Now this man is little bit, he's not completely unconscious, but little bit he hears. He has still conscious something, not fully. So the doctor is saying to his son, to this man who is lying in the bed, doctor measures the temperature, and doctor is saying to that son that he has 160 degree. So the man is misunderstood, he's dying, gonna die. His misunderstanding. He's saying, "Oh, you stupid son, don't you see the share market is gone up $106 now? Can't you do something about it?" So his whole consciousness is that, because whole his life he has done this business. So that's what happens at the time of the death. Whatever we will be continue whole our life, that's what we're gonna think about it. So this man is thinking about the share prices. Share price has gone up. Why don't you sell it? To his my stupid son, sell it. It's 106 now. So that's what it's here Prahlad Maharaj is saying in this verse about that. Think of Krishna, chant Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Anyone else has any other comments or questions? Anyone would like to share? Any comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I just would like to share my reflection about Bhakti Vinod. You mentioned the businessman story. He was too attached to the business. So it came in my mind. We read Bhakti Vinod Thakur's life. So he was so busy. He was a big official. He was so busy with his work the whole day. he did work, and then at night when he came back in the evening, and always he wants his family to be engaged in the Krishna consciousness, and he sleeps usually for 2 hours, and then he woke up and did all his writing and all this work, and he was so hardworking, but he did his all the work duties as well as he was totally absorbed in the Krishna consciousness. That's just would like to mention here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. It's a very nice example.
That's why he is the seventh Goswami.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. This is a very important chapter actually. Almost all the verses are spoken by Prahlad Maharaj in this chapter. He's teaching what he learned in the womb. I'll share the summary, not now, but soon, maybe in a day or two. But we can take some reflections or questions, or anyone has quick reflections or questions, because it's in the next couple of minutes. In this chapter, something really inspired you, something really struck your heart.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. You explained very nicely, and Bhadra Prabhu, Nandini Mataji. So Prabhuji, the one I like, here, Prahlad Maharaj, even though he was in womb, he was, able to hear. If we have the desire, Lord will make it happen. And also, here, Srila Prabhupada gives a nice example. Anyone who takes the shelter of the spiritual master, even in this material body, he can get the spiritual, abode. So, and even Narad Muni said, and also one point Bhaswati Mataji made, recently I was listening in this Bhakti Sangha group. So when there was a question, Prabhuji, he was a brahmachari Prabhu, he was giving and he was explaining how to chant and how to do devotional service and all, but there was a question, Prabhuji, I understand that you are in the brahmachari ashram, you live in the temple, but we as a grihasthas are living in the householder, and we have lot of other things, and at the same time, Prabhuji said, in fact, grihasthas are more, have more opportunity to serve the Lord in their home by serving their kids, by serving the Krishna consciousness to others, and also gave example of Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakura and all. Even though they were doing their household activities perfectly, but at the same time they were doing a lot of devotional service. So that in fact is more than any other devotional service. So that's my understanding. Please have Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Another point is that right now this Be Here Now movement is very active. People have made millions on Be Here Now. And Prahlad Maharaj is saying, be here now. As soon as, doesn't matter you're 1 year old, 5 years old, 6 years old, be here now with Krishna. As soon as you can, start doing devotional service. It's never too early. And and on top of it, really, we are, as a devotee, we are really responsible on spreading this Krishna consciousness movement. So catch the fire and spread it. Hare Krishna. Fire, the spark of devotional service, fan the spark and let it do its wonders. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And we truly relish Srimad Bhagvatam. This is the best, biggest, longest purport are in Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu verse of Prabhupada. And thank you so much. We relished it so much more because of your explanations and comments. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. You are living what you are speaking by sharing this message of Krishna consciousness with so many people and so many opportunities. and always eager to share. Thank you so much. Anyone else has any other comments, realizations, questions? Feel free.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Honorable to all devotees. So yesterday I missed the class. So as far my understanding so far, that as a devotee you should avoid dharma, artha, kam and moksha. But in verse 48, Prahlad Maharaj is telling that the four principles of advancement in spiritual life, dharma, artha, kam and moksha. Probably it was discussed yesterday elaborately. So Prabhupada actually clearing this idea in his purport that dharma means here for the devotees Bhagavad dharma, and artha means to get engaged in the occasional duties. That way we can earn our livelihood and serve Krishna. But kam and moksha was not explained by the Prabhupada. So I believe kam should be to eagerness for devotional service, to serve the Vaishnavas and the Lord. And moksha, so moksha usually means for liberation, but as a devotee we don't want liberation, we want only to serve the Lord and devotees. Do you want to give more comments on it, Prabhuji?
Thank you, Prabhu. So, devotees, as aspiring devotees, we have to follow the principles of using everything for Krishna's service and trying to connect everything as far as possible in Krishna's service. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, 7-11. Whenever we see 7-11, which we see so often while driving, we can remember this verse. This is another video I shared, how to remember verses. Balavatam chaham kama raga vivarjita dharma aviruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. I am that sex life which is not contrary to religious principles. Kamo asmi. I am that kama. So it is not that one has to say neti. No. Dharma away, artha away. No, I don't want money, bro. The famous pastime. One person, one so-called Baba, was posing, oh, money. Someone was giving him money and he was like, oh, no, don't bring money close to me. Prabhupada said, give me hundreds of dollars, take my picture, and I'll use it in Krishna's service. And we saw how Prabhupada used each and every thing in Krishna's service, whether it be palatial buildings like the Fisher Mansion in Detroit, such a wonderful building he used, and whether it's a small hut, he was happy everywhere, because as we discussed, the pure devotee sees everything in a Krishna conscious way. So the point is, of course, to not sit idle, because we will have to interact with all these things. Like most of us have jobs or businesses in some way, and we must continue them. Most of us are married and have children, etc. It is certainly a great service. And of course, doing that in alignment with Krishna consciousness is Daivi Varnashrama. When the goal of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is Bhakti, the Pancham Purushartha, the topmost amongst them, that's what Lord Chaitanya gave, then they all become nicely connected. Otherwise, it is Shrama Eva Hi Kevalam. If the object of all this, object of Dharma, object of Artha, Kama, Moksha is my personal sense gratification, how do I enjoy more, then it becomes, then it is not Bhakti. But when in all these aspects, doing one's duties, family life, office life, even in the spiritual life, always remembering that the object is to serve Guru and Krishna. That is the real goal. Then everything is good. Then nothing is bad. Does that make sense? Clarify?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else? Any other quick comments, questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So this whole part of this canto started with whether the Lord has partiality, and we see here how Prahlad Maharaj has become a Mahajan, while Kayadu, who listened to the same instructions from Narada Muni, went back to the Asuric life. So, this is a great learning that we can have, that everybody has the opportunity from Prabhupada's the purports from Prabhupada and all Vaishnavas to either become a Mahajan or become a Rakshas. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, but ultimately, if the demoniac father who was so opposed, the mother who is like a Path Pradarshak Guru, who was an instrument to help Prahlad, like how Mata Suniti was an instrument to help Dhruva. Dhruva remembered. So certainly, Prahlad, if he is remembering his demoniac father who tried to torture him in unlimited ways, in the interim she forgot. It is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. She forgot because, so many things were there. But ultimately, the pure devotees, which will come actually later in the 9th chapter, 21 generations, not just 1 or 2 parents, 21 generations. We read that recently in another forum. We were discussing that topic. So in the interim, yes, your Bhagavatam says, but ultimately she would also any hearing, any spiritual bhakti, any spiritual shravanam, that too from Narad Muni. Okay, she forgot in the interim, but that will never go in vain. So even there could be one deviation in the middle, but ultimately bhakti is never lost. Any other comments or any last comment? Anyone? Okay, so we will continue tomorrow with the next chapter, chapter 8, and this is the chapter where Lord Nrsimhadev appears. Lord Nrsimhadev slays the king of the demons, that is Hiranyakashipu. So we will see the fight, Nrsimhadev coming, and then the fighting, and then the end of Hiranyakashipu. It is a fairly long chapter with a lot of wonderful purports. We will start this chapter tomorrow. Grantraj Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Govinda ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.